Good evening.
Evening.
How are you?
I'm all right. Are you?
Good. Oh, yes, having fun. Feeling better after the weekend. I'm not as shattered as I was.
Yeah, you were drained, weren't you?
I
Friday?
was.
Saturday, wasn't it? Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday was. Yeah, I was absolutely shattered. I'm still, not 100% sleeping as I have been. But I don't know what it is. Facebook's playing up by the looks of it. Just do a bit of sharing. Welcome everybody in. Then we'll bring Richel on screen. Introduce her. I think my problem on Sunday with my StreamYard, I think StreamYard's been playing up because numerous people have said to me that they've had problems themselves, So hello to everybody in the chat. We're just doing a bit of sharing. If you can like and share this out everywhere you possibly can, please. That would be amazing. I'm just going to knock this out a bit as well. Share it to John because he said he would share it out as well. I'll try not to get booted. Like I did before. So in the chat then, hello. We've got Ryan Maycock commented earlier saying looking forward to the chat tonight. Tracy Evans, Sam Pritchard, Natasha Brooke. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy for sharing. Hi, Davey, our mod. Hi, Stephen Harris. Ryan Maycock. Hi, Dan, Charlene, Lowe Kemp, and everyone. Hope everyone is okay watching from Glasgow, Scotland. Shout out, please. Can this go on screen? Yeah, of course it can, Ryan. There you go. Thanks for coming on. Let's say we're just going to do a little bit of sharing. If everybody else can share out for us, that would be brilliant. Thank you. And as I say, we'll then bring Richel on. Let me just share it to John as well because he just very quickly. Where is he? There we go. Right then. So
dark. I've gone dark again. I've got my light on.
I think it's because you got light coming in behind you and the camera's focusing on it. I think that's what it is. So, okie dokie then. Hi, Diane Johnson. Hi, Ivan. Hello, Drew. So I'm just going to bring Richel on, say hello to everybody and introduce herself. And we'll get down to a chat wagon. So if anybody wants to come on and say hello to Richel and have ask any questions whatsoever. Hi, Rose Cook. I'm just sharing the stream at the moment. I'm going to pin it at the bottom. There we go. So that should be pinned now. And hello, Richel.
Hi. How are you?
Hi,
You're at the bottom this time.
At the bottom, yep.
We have a shuffle round. How are we? So everything all right?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Oh, cold.
All right.
Yeah.
Cold.
It's really cold here too. I'm waiting for summer to hit.
Oh, I think we had summer about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have it for about 2 days here. That's it.
That's it. We don't normally have it much else.
That's it. Yeah. When the sun's been out today, I mean, currently, where is it? The temperature right now. I don't even know what the temperature is right now. Where is it? My weather app. There we go. 11 degrees Celsius right now. Whatever that is in Fahrenheit, I don't know. But
I don't know. I'm gonna try to figure it out in my head, but
I was gonna say I know you're Fahrenheit. There we go. Hang on a minute. I know how to change to Fahrenheit. There we go. 54 where I am. Is that 54 Fahrenheit?
Okay, well that's not too bad.
I don't know, right? It feels cold.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably around that here as well.
Yeah. See, the problem we get is that when it's like this, we get loads of wind and stuff, so it all kicks up and goes even colder half the time. So
I bet.
Oh yes, and when it goes when the winter kicks in,
yeah,
it's not very nice at all, is it, Charlene?
No.
Charlene's further north as well, so as the further north you go in the UK, the colder it gets.
Wow. So how warm does it typically get there?
I think in the summer we can be lucky to get last year we were getting some like 28, 29, 30 maybe. That's Celsius, obviously. So
which is good for us.
Which is really high for us.
Okay.
So, I think we had some days where we were hot, where it was hotter here than it was in Spain. So that's pretty good considering.
Yeah, I'd say.
So, okay, in the chat, very quickly, we've got Mike Cardenas has jumped in. MPS in the house. Richel Stratton.
Hi, Mike. How's it going?
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike. It was good to have it. We had Mike on last week as well. Was Do you know what? My days are rolling into one. Well, it was last Thursday. Mike was on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah. That's it. And Daryl was the Saturday before, wasn't he? There we go. Because I was supposed to have Brandon on this weekend, this Saturday just gone, but unfortunately Brandon had to cancel last minute. So we ended up doing a sort of a mini sort of investigation live where Charlene's where she is, and I think Charlene's roughly about 3.75 hours from where I live.
Okay, so
we were trying to,
not too far, right?
That's it. But we were trying to do a bit of communication over the internet, see if it would work. Because she's got a doll that's got an attachment, that's got some attachments to it. Supposedly has, and we're trying to see if it would work where, because it's been known to go and travel somehow. Some people said it's been known to travel and scratch people, especially men, and cause nightmares for them as well. So
we had a whirl at it, didn't we, Dan?
We did. We had a whirl at it. We got some bits and pieces through on spirit boxes and things like that, but she didn't want to.
Did you get any scratches, or did you have a hard time sleeping?
Oh, I've been having a hard time sleeping for God knows how long. Everybody knows what I've been like over the past couple of weeks. Knows I've been a proper suffering with really bad insomnia. So
I'm sorry to hear that. I know that I've been having a hard time falling asleep, but I think it's because my schedule's so screwy.
Yeah.
But I don't. Okay, so I know that they say everyone dreams, but I don't typically remember any dreams that I have. If I do dream, I don't remember it. And for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I have been dreaming like crazy dreams. Like,
you're not the only one to report that. That seems to be a trend at the minute. Like everyone who's been in lockdown and during this pandemic, a lot of people said that they've been dreaming a lot more.
That's it. It's either one scale or the other, really. One end of the scale or the other. Really. It's either dreaming loads of sleeping well and dreaming like crazy, or not sleeping at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like I was going to start trying to write down my dreams to see if there was like anything consistent with them, or like write down what I ate before I went to bed. Maybe that was helping or making me dream more. But every time I wake up, I only remember bits and pieces. Like I can't remember the whole entire dream. So
that's it.
I don't know. It could be what I'm watching too.
Sorry?
It could be what I'm watching too.
There is that, yeah. I think though at the moment we're all sort of very much straight on like our computers and our tablets and our phones, aren't we, at the moment? So our brains are really wired as well, and especially more at the moment with everything and the fact that we're at home a lot more. And
oh, for sure.
That's it. So first of all, I'll let Charlene introduce herself properly to you as to what she does. So it's best that she says it, because she's got a big long list and I think she's got it written down now. So over to you, Charlene.
So I've actually got my own team and group called Paranormal Hauntings. I blog, live investigate content, anything really. Haunted museum. I also urbenex, so abandoned buildings I'll go and check out and stuff. So I'm a bit of a variety. Got my hands in all pies, if you like.
Yeah. Well, that sounds really fun. Like, I want to do some urbenex stuff a little bit more. Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily have to be haunted or anything like that.
No.
I'll tell you what. When you find yourself over in the UK, we've got a whole long list of them that you can probably go and see.
All right, I'll hit you guys up. We can go have some fun.
So for some bizarre reason, there's billions of them around where Charlene is, all these different places. Everybody in that area, Nottinghamshire, Yorkshire, that area, everybody seems to find loads around there. So always seems to be something going on. Whereas with me, I'm a little bit different to what Charlene does. I don't do the writing, the blogging side of it, and I don't have a haunted museum. you might see my cat come and bite my foot or something, but I travel around. I'm a solo investigator. I meet up with other groups. I'll do my own thing, and I'm predominantly now a live streamer.
Nice.
I did have a team. I did have a team. I don't know if you've ever heard of there's a website, and it's just gone out of my brain exactly what it was called as well. I don't know why, but it's just gone out of my brain what it was called. But my team, we started streaming onto that. There's over here, there's a TV show that used to be called Rescue Mediums, and it was their production company that set up this website. And we used to stream our shows onto there that we used to put together. But I tend to do live streaming in a slightly different way to some, whereas I do my live stream and then I go back over the footage the following day, because 9 times out of 10 you don't hear or see what you get until you go back over it.
Of course, yeah. Evidence review and things like that. You definitely catch a lot more stuff when you go over it.
Exactly. So I mean, I have done a lot of people's homes before, things like that. But from what we are learning, Charlene and I are learning a lot of at the moment is that you guys over in America do things in the paranormal so much differently to what we do over here. We do? Yeah. So you do, yeah. What we find is that you guys do a lot more background history, a lot more, so you have a lot more historical evidence. This end seems to be a little bit more like.
Well, I'll do my history on it. I do my history on it, but then you do see other people like claiming to be at a morgue when really they're at a medical centre kind of thing, and it's like
that's it.
Yeah, it's
very much about the live stream and about the views for a lot of people.
It's very much about clickbait over here.
That seems to be the problem. Yeah, and it seems very much got a little bit of just a comment just popped up for you there.
Oh, thank you. It's fading so much, but my sister and me can't do it. Was it originally green or was it blue? It was originally like a dark teal color, but depending on certain light, it kind of looked blue. It was actually like it was the color of the wall. I'm a fan of that color. I don't know.
That's it. You can tell I like green, you see, because you can see right through me. Look. So that's the only problem with a green screen. When you have anything with green on it, you just end up disappearing.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more nowadays it's live streaming and things like that. So it's a little bit more predominantly like that, and probably a bit more of the urban exploring side of things coming up as well, starting soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, obviously the TV show Ghost Hunters. How did you get into it then?
So how did I get in the paranormal? How did I get on the show?
Both really.
Okay. So I had my first experience with the paranormal when I was 8. I was asleep and I woke up in the middle of the night to someone standing at the foot of my bed. So the next morning I told my mom that I had seen this person that looked like they were like in some type of period clothing. They had a bonnet on, and she didn't really believe me. She thought it was just my imagination. 8-year-olds have a wild imagination. And my sister and me actually shared a room. Well, the following night, she had woken up to the same person standing at the foot of her bed. And she told my mom the next day as well. The thing about it was when I told my mom, my sister was nowhere near. So it was weird that we had both seen the same person and we described him the same way. And that kind of piqued our interest. But when you're 8 years old, you're kind of limited on how much you can explore with that, obviously. Yeah. So we were always kind of, interested in it. We would play with the Ouija boards and things. And then eventually we got older, and around 20, we started going to different ghost hunting events and investigations. And we started investigating it, really piqued our interest. And then finally, she reached out to Riverbend Paranormal to try to become a part of the team. She's like, there's people that do this and they have teams. And she's like, so I'm going to try to join this team. Do you want to come with me? And at first I told her no. I said, you go ahead and go. And if it's not a cult, then maybe I'll come too. But you'll kind of be the sacrificial lamb, because I'm the baby sister and she's supposed to protect me and things. But so she went and she met Brian Murray, who's also one of Ghost Hunters with me and my best friend and the co-founder of Riverbend Paranormal. And she she fell in love with it. She fell in love with the team. She told me how great they were. And then she asked if I could come to an investigation with her. And at first, Brian was like, nah, we don't need any more people on the team, which is so funny. And I never let him live it down. I'm like, we're best friends now. And before, you didn't even want me a part of the team. Like, you didn't want to meet me. And now we talk every single day. And it's like, thank God you let me, tag along with my sister. So then I went on the investigation, a couple of them, and I ended up joining the team as well. And then a little bit down the road, Brian gets this call from Pilgrim Productions. He thought it was a bill collector. So he didn't answer it. They left a message saying that they were interested in him for a paranormal TV show. And he was kind of like, oh, okay, like, is this real? So he called him back and it seems legit. And they asked about his team and he said, yeah, you can look at the whole team. He told them the website and he's like, I work with Richel a lot. She's my best friend. And then they called me and the whole time I didn't think it was real. I was like, okay, like I'm a hygienist from Illinois that likes to ghost hunt. What are the chances of someone being like, we want you on TV?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Slim to none. So I did I did like a phone interview and then like a Skype. And then eventually they were like, we want you to come out to California for an investigation. The network likes you. And I was like, okay. And at that point, like still didn't know what the paranormal show was, didn't know if it was real. I told my husband about it and he looked up all these people that I had been talking to and he's like, they work for him. He's like, it may be real. I was like, all right. So I went out to California and when we got there, Brian came as well. And when we got there, they said, we may not keep everyone the full week. And I told them, I said, listen, I'm a mom. I have childcare for a whole week. And I have all my patients taken care of at the dental office for a whole week. I said, you keep me this whole week, okay? I don't care if you want me on a show or not. You keep me because this is like a little mini vacation for me. And they kind of laughed and they're like, okay. So they ended up keeping both of us the whole week. And then we went home and, we're thinking, well, that was fun, but that's probably where it ends, because they don't really necessarily tell you one way or another if they like you, if they don't like you. They're kind of like very like, they got good poker faces. You have no idea where you stand with them. And then I got a call saying that, the network loved me, Grant loved me, and that I'm going to be a member of the Ghost Hunters. And I was like, okay. And they're like, this is a good thing. You can be excited. I'm like, I am excited. They're like, that's your excited. Okay. I was like, uh-huh. I was in shock. And I mean, I'm still kind of in shock about it because, you grow up.
I think we've got a few little technical issues.
Breaking up a little bit.
Sorry. But, you grow up watching Ghost Hunters.
All right.
You see.
I think we just lost it. Richel, I think we just lost you a little bit then.
Did you lose me? I don't know what I said last.
You were just saying about what we heard was you saying about Grant loved you and wanted you on board.
Yeah, and I was in shock. I was just like, okay, because you grow up watching him, and he was a pioneer in the paranormal field. Never in a million years are you like, the things that I do, someone that I look up to is actually going to be like, I like you. I want you a part of this team. So it was crazy because like up until they told me, I had no idea even what the show was called or who I'd be working with. I just took a leap of faith and they took a leap of faith on me. So I'm excited and I feel blessed. And I still am in shock that we were actually just downstairs. My kids were watching YouTube, like scary stories or something. And an ad popped up for Ghost Hunters. And every time that happens, it's surreal. Like I don't even know what to think when I see it. My kids are like, there you are, Mom. I'm like, Yeah. You know, it's a weird thing, but it's fun. I've gotten to see a lot of cool places, meet a lot of awesome people, and I'm really grateful for the experience.
Yeah. So are you still working at the dental center now though?
Right now, all the dental centers are kind of closed. They're like limited, seeing emergency patients only. So a lot of I'm a hygienist, so I don't necessarily deal with dental emergencies as much. So yeah, I haven't been back yet. Kind of waiting to see when we're going to fully open. But.
Yeah, I know that we've got a lot. I've been saying it for weeks now. I desperately need a haircut. Desperately need a haircut. It's so frustrating. It's too long. And
I think it looks good.
It was
fabulous. Just keep up with the
I think we've had about 8? Is it about 8, 10 weeks, 8, 9 weeks now? Something we've been.
This is our 8th, isn't it?
Yeah, March 23rd we went on lockdown.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's not a fun time really. And I know that I was watching I was doing a bit of work today, and in the place I was working, they had the TV on, and on this certain program they were saying about hairdressers, about how they think that hairdressers should be what should be essential workers, because having your hair done makes you feel better, so especially for people's mental health.
Well, I mean, I can understand that. I get my hair done, I don't know, I change the color of my hair like once a month. So I told my sister I was having withdrawals, and she's like, do not touch your hair. Do not do anything to it. I was like, I have some like color here at my house. I may just slap it on there. She's like, do that. And then I sent her the meme of Britney Spears in 2007 when she shaved her head. And she's like, oh my God, Richel. She's like, if you touch your hair, she's like, I'm going to kick your ass. Don't do it, because I know I'm going to have to fix it. And I was like,
I'll tell you what, the color looks nice, actually. It does look nice.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I've been trying to make it look somewhat good. I don't know. It's faded so much, like the bottoms. Like, I'm starting to go back blonde, and not by choice. It's just happening.
My frustration is that my hair getting this length, the gray's coming through, and it does I don't know if you can see it. It's like literally the gray's coming through, and I hate it. I'm bearing in mind I have mine done every 2 weeks, so
yeah. Salt and pepper looks good.
Oh, yeah. This is a different story. So if anybody has any questions in the chat at all, or want to pop on and say hello, please click on the link at the bottom of the chat that's pinned, and you can come on and have a chinwag with Richel. So we over here, obviously, we have a lot of different places that we obviously our history's that much more than is over in the States. But I mean, so we have a lot of different castles, like we were saying in the chat just beforehand, and for us over here to get to those places and things, it is quite expensive. Do you find that over in the States as well when you were with Riverbend?
Yes. I think a lot of people don't understand that ghost hunting is an expensive hobby to have, right? Like the places you want to investigate, because sometimes they're historical, you got to pay to get into them because it helps keep up the maintenance. But then ghost hunting equipment is expensive as well.
Oh, yes.
So it's definitely an expensive hobby to have for sure.
Definitely. We know that about the equipment, don't we, Charlene?
We do. And I mean, I'm fully self-funded as well. I don't ask for any money off anyone or gain any money out of this any way, shape or form. So it is purely a hobby for me. And it does make it hard. It really, really does make it hard. But it's the same with anything really, though, isn't it? If you enjoy fishing, you'll pay out for the equipment. If you enjoy golfing, you'll pay out for the golfing equipment. It's just, when you enjoy something, that's what you do, don't you? So
yeah.
I mean, as you can probably see across the bottom of the screen, it does say that become a patron and support the page, visit that. But I've done that just to see if people are interested in additional content and things like that.
Yeah.
It's not very expensive per month, but it just helps with some fuel, maybe, So, but it is a very expensive thing to be traveling around constantly, and especially if you're doing it some people here do it every day.
Yeah, for sure. I know that our group, Riverbend Paranormal, when I first joined, we didn't pay dues or anything like that. But then we've been a part of it, we've started having people pay dues that goes in a big pot. So then we can buy, the
What you
equipment
need.
that we're wanting and things like that, and go on the investigations that we want to go on that may cost a little bit more money. So I think it's working out well. I mean,
yeah, but you're special. You get to use like these posh bits of kit like that come from NASA and stuff, don't you? So
yes. So
we've heard about this new particle cam.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've done ghost hunting where it hasn't been costing me money, and it's and I get to play with all these cool toys. But definitely, I know when we first got the EMCCD camera, I'm still in love with it. I think it's an amazing piece of equipment, but I'm also still a little scared to touch it because I'm like, that is expensive. I know that sometimes I drop things. So it's one of those things where it's like, I know how to mess with it, but if I don't have to touch the most expensive piece of equipment, probably the best. Like, let's just set it up and like no one breathe on it or look at it. Funny, because I don't want it to like break.
I know when I watched the original, because I used to watch the original series all the time.
Yeah.
It's the only one that I truthfully watched regularly. I did used to watch another one, Haunted Collector. I used to love that one.
Okay.
But Ghost Hunters was the only one I truly watched all the time, because to me, I liked the ethos. I liked the way that they worked with, and to start with, it was predominantly people's homes.
Yes.
To me, I like that side of things rather than being over the top, telling a story on a building that none of us are probably going to have a chance to ever get to go to or go and look at or anything,
Yes, so, I understand that.
But that's one of the things I liked about them.
The haunted stairs, the haunted stairwell, was it called? And they put 3 data loggers on the stairs.
Oh, that was in Connecticut it was the house in Connecticut, right?
It was a private house, yeah.
It was almost like clockwork that you could hear it, and I believe it was residual because you could see it happening on all flights in that house.
Yeah.
That was a really cool experience. And it's nice when I like helping homeowner cases because it's nice when you can put someone's mind at ease because it's home. Like they can't get away from it, and you can just pick up and move because you're scared of the activity there, like that's not really a feasible thing to do. So I like those cases because then you can put someone's mind at ease and make them more comfortable with paranormal.
Yeah, but I think the thing is that when the equipment shows up like that, it's proving to them, because you do think to yourself, am I going mad? I'm not really experiencing this. So I suppose when a team goes in and then the equipment backs that up for them, that is a bit of a relief, and that somebody agrees with them that is rare.
I think that is one of the main things too when we go into any of these investigations is we're just trying to let our clients know that they're not nuts. Like find an explanation for what they're experiencing, like a natural explanation, or just confirm like, hey, we had the same experiences that you did.
Yeah.
So that also just puts people's mind at ease because they're like, okay,
the show all along.
Not crazy.
That's exactly what I loved about the show all along, especially, and then watching the new show, the few episodes I was able to watch, I thought, because even though you go into that, like that big place where the fire was.
Oh, yeah, Landau's Castle.
Yeah. So even going to there, that was somebody's home as well as their business, and still putting them at ease, obviously, with regards to what's going on.
Yes.
And that was one of the things I really enjoyed about the show from the start, going back to 2004, just purely because that's what it was all about. But it was also, they tended to talk about, and put a knowledge base across as well, especially about equipment.
I know that with season two is all about isolation. So we're going to a lot of places that are off the beaten path that you may have never heard of. Some locations are way bigger than I've investigated before. We investigated a whole entire town.
Yeah.
The people that we're helping are still people like they have a need, they're scared, and it's just we're addressing it. And a lot of the people live in the area. I know we go to Clifton, Arizona. That's the whole town we investigated. They live there. There's businesses, and every single thing there had paranormal activity that they needed help. Kind of, what's real, what's fake. How do we go about living here when we're having all these experiences that can be scary? Then we also go to Fort Stanton, which is a historical site. It's amazing. If you ever get a chance to go there, I suggest to do it. But there's actually 2 people who lived there by themselves to keep up the grounds.
Yeah.
And they were having activity in their building, and then they were afraid to go into the other buildings on the grounds because there was paranormal stuff happening. And it was, I think, like 100 miles from like the nearest hospital. So if they were to get scared or startled, they could hurt themselves and, not be able to necessarily get the help that they need. So we helped with that. This Wednesday, tomorrow night, we're actually going to investigate the Wendover airfield.
Cool.
Which is exciting. And they also have the people that work there are afraid to go in certain buildings because of the paranormal activity. Also, it's an active airfield, so planes are landing there. And it's our job to go in and try to put people's minds at ease because they have to still be able to do their job. Lives depend on it,
So here's a question for you.
After the show, do you still provide like an aftercare to them?
Yes. After we investigate, and the case is ongoing still, like they can call us and reach out to us if there's new activity or if they have a question about something, and we are there to help them. We're happy to help them. It's never over for us.
No, because sometimes you can investigate somewhere, can't you? And it can sometimes spark the activity to come back a bit stronger.
Yeah, sometimes it stirs it up a little bit if they know that someone's reaching out to them. So we definitely try to help throughout the whole, essentially forever, I guess. Yeah.
They can always give you, a call and whatever if they need to.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So with leading on from that, then, with regards to the current lockdown situation, I mean, what's your thoughts on venues now, obviously, where they've not been investigated for so long? Because so nowadays, not what a lot of people thinking now is that some venues are just going to be like amazing activity afterwards because nobody's been in them for so long.
It could be a possibility. I mean, if you think about it, if there's a active place that people go to all the time asking the same questions, the spirits there, the entities, probably like, oh man, not a question again. Like, I'm tired of talking about this. So they're getting a little bit of a break. And then maybe when we go back in, they'll be like, we haven't talked to anyone forever, so let's have a conversation.
We always say places are, there's a lot of places that are overfished, we say. It's very much like a lake. So if you fish a lake consistently, daily, eventually the fish are going to just run out of being in there. They're just going to disappear. And obviously with the paranormal, with spirits being energy potentially, it's potentially the same thing, really, isn't it? So
I think that if you're going to investigate a place like that, you need to come up with different questions than, is someone here? I know that we always ask that to establish, is someone here? Do you want to talk? But a lot of the time when I go in to investigate, I like to just talk to my partner that I'm with about the building or activity going on, or, even about their day. And then sometimes that stirs up to activity. And I think because if you're having a good time with the person you're with, a good conversation, as a living person, if you see that, you want to join in sometimes, correct? You're like, oh. So I think that I like to go about that way if I'm going into an area that's been investigated a lot, because then it feels more like I'm just here visiting and talking to you and talking to my friend, and you can join if you'd like. And it takes a little pressure off of them, because asking the same question all the time, it starts to become like 20 questions, or like they're getting interrogated.
I agree. It's a good approach to have.
Yeah.
Definitely a good approach to have.
And
I feel like sometimes when you're having a bit of a laugh with the team members, things sometimes can kick off then. Like, hello, we're here. Or they're feeding off that laughter that you're coming across, you know, and it's like, pay attention to me now. Come on. Kind of thing.
I know that happens a lot with Brian and I. We investigate the mineral springs in Alton over here, and we go there frequently, but we'll go up into this one area and we'll just sit down and kind of like we'll just be bullshitting back and forth with like equipment going, and sure enough, stuff will start happening like to get our attention, like, hey guys, you came up here to talk to us, remember? So I think that it works. At least I like it.
So obviously you've got your best mate that you go investigating with, and if I was to ask you an outright question then, and I asked this to Daryl and he didn't really want to answer it, but who's your favorite team member then out of the ghost hunting team?
Brian Murray. But no one's gonna hold it against me. And if he's on here, if he does not say me, they're wrong. He better. But no.
I know. As I say, I was supposed to have Brandon on at the weekend, but he couldn't make it, unfortunately. And I'm hoping Kendall Welton's coming on soon.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. He's agreed to come on. We just got to book a date and have for him to come on.
He's awesome. So they're both awesome. So
with regards to your roles then within the team, what? You know, obviously we know Grant heads up a lot. He's the face from the original and things, isn't he? So
he's our team leader. So he, you know, obviously he's brought us all on. So he's our team leader. And then we've got Daryl and Kristen and Brandon, who do some leadership roles. But really we're all investigators, and we all do tech. We all come up with ideas, and it's great because Grant is obviously our leader, but the rest of us all of us try to work together, because if you don't work together, the team's not going to work. So we all come up with ideas. We all help with equipment. We all review evidence. And yeah, so it makes for a good time, an enjoyable time.
And equipment then. So would you say you prefer the technical side, or would you say you prefer the spiritual side? Is there specific things you prefer?
I like both. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to have an experience. I think everyone that's in this field, you want to have an experience. But afterwards, you want to be able to kind of figure out what exactly happened. So I think it goes hand in hand with the tech. Like, having the tech around can help you determine, like, if what you're experiencing is real, if there's a correlation between, you know, environmental changes and something moving, or you seeing something. So I think they go hand in hand. I do get a lot of, I'm what you call an empath, so I get feelings, and then I try to not necessarily go off those feelings. I may ask certain questions, but I don't hold a lot of weight to them unless I'm backed up with a piece of equipment.
The same with me, to be honest, because I always say that I'm a sensitive, where people say, well, that's a medium, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a medium. I'd say I'm a sensitive, and I'm sensitive to what I call the environment at the time. And sometimes I may get things coming through, and I'm not necessarily say then something may happen, and then I'll go along with that myself, you know, and just say that's how I'm feeling. But I'm probably the same. I like to be backed up for myself, I think.
Well, I'm the same way as you. Like, I know that Grant has said before, he's like, Richel, he's like, everyone's some type of like on the spectrum of sensitive. He's like, Rochelle's just a little bit more than everyone else. And I don't like to tell people I'm sensitive or an empath or anything like that, because I don't want them to think I'm a medium or a psychic, because I'm not. And again, like, I find myself, I'll be feeling something, or I'll think something that is odd, that I don't know why it popped in my head. And I'll tell my teammates, but I may not necessarily share it with viewers, just because I don't want to ruin my credibility, and I don't want to not have it backed up and say something that, you know, people are like, oh, she's making something up. And it's like, I'm not trying to make anything up. I'm just saying how I'm feeling, whether it's right or wrong or anything, it doesn't matter. So I like to only, you know, share if stuff is getting backed up by it.
That's it. But that's a good thing, that is, because obviously you've also had that historical backup that you've had from it as well. You know about the history that you're going into the place already. So, and at least then you're being totally honest about it. You know, you're not putting across something that anybody can sit there and say, well, actually, she knows the history of the place. So,
so what I like to do when we go on investigations, I don't always look at all the history starting out. I kind of know the case and what the claims are, but then I like to walk around the location and see how I'm feeling, see see what I'm thinking. And then I go to the history and I look, and then I'm like, oh, maybe that's why I felt that way, or something like that. But that's how I kind of like to investigate. I like to know a little bit, but not too much, because I don't want.
Because you like to get the feel of the place.
I like to get the feel of the place. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
You can read it all and then expect so much, or expect it to feel a certain way, and it might not live up to that expectation sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes it is good to go in a bit blind and then see what you feel, and then you come back and have a look what it is, and then think, oh wow, you know, sometimes that's the excitement of it, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
I think what's it? So basically, I think we're talking about equipment and things as well. I mean, what's your thoughts on things like phone apps then?
Phone apps?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't use them. I will say that, like, when it comes to, like, you can use your voice recorder on your phone, but phone apps, like, anything that can be manipulated by an outside source, I try to stay away from, but that doesn't mean that other people can't use them. It's always a good time. But I know in the show that we try to stick with stuff that can be backed up by science and debunked, but that's because we're trying to present it to our client.
Yeah.
So we need to take out as much outside source as possible. But it is a good time, and I know that I've been on a couple investigations where people have used Phasma Box.
Yeah.
You've heard of that? And that's been kind of fun. Like, you know, it's like, how about that?
I think sometimes they can be a little bit, but I mean, they say they're for entertainment purposes only on them, because they have to, obviously, for Play Store or Apple Store, regulations and things. But you know, I mean, I'm one to test things. You know, I'm one to test things. I don't necessarily rule it out if I don't know if I haven't played with it first, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. I will say that when I investigate, not like when I just investigate with, you know, for fun or with the team, I typically don't use equipment.
Yeah.
I use myself, and I'll bring like a recorder maybe with me, because I love audio and EVPs, but I don't bring like a data logger and all of that other stuff. I kind of just like to use my own senses to see what's going on.
You just let Mustafa, Darryl, and Brandon go walking around with bags full of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys go ahead and carry all that stuff. I'm just that's all I need.
Got a comment in the chat from Craig Williams. He said that young lady who is talking as an old woman who is always around her. She's like a mother figure to her. I know this as I'm a paranormal sensitive person.
Okay. What does she look like?
That would be interesting. He also says if you have a phone app, always put your phone in airplane mode. But the thing is, obviously, I think if you're going into investigation and you're doing a serious, full on serious investigation in a home and things, I'm not one who wants to go live streaming in somebody's home, for example.
Exactly. Being in someone's home is very personal, and it's a sensitive area to be in because they are putting a lot of trust in you to begin with, to bring you into their home, to tell you their experiences that they probably feel like they're crazy for even saying they're having them, and trust that you are going to come in and not do something that's going to make it worse, and you're going to believe them and, be respectful in their home.
Yeah, definitely. I would much rather go in,
I think a lot,
do everything, and then go back afterwards and speak to them,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And only put it online if they say yes.
Yeah.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Sorry. I was just saying, and only put it online if the client says yes.
Yes, of course, definitely.
So sorry, Charlene, go on.
I think a lot don't like you to. What I've found is a lot want you to be completely private about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is more genuine to me, because it makes me makes me think that there probably is something really, really bad going off there, or it's really affecting them, rather than just wanting to be on camera or have it live streamed or something like that. Sometimes they just want some help.
I agree. Completely. I know that the private locations or private homes that we do here, not on the show, obviously, but with my local home team, always extremely, like, we sign something, we let them know, like, hey, whatever happens here it's for you and us to know, but no one else. Like, we're not going to broadcast it to anyone. And it's a lot of trust that they have to put in you.
It is.
Stacey Renshaw just said, I wouldn't mind you live streaming my house, Dan. I got loads of activities here. I would be amazed at what you get. I think the thing is, to a degree, no matter what, really, I think if you're doing a private residence, it's better to film it all first, and go through everything and present that to the client first before you necessarily publicize it.
Yeah, you have to make sure that they feel comfortable with it.
That's it. So Craig Williams says about this lady, says she's about 70 years old with a black dress on, who's holding a red flower, but this is just what he sees.
Okay. Well, I'll have to keep a lookout for her. I'm trying to rack my brain for if I've had any family members that fit the description that's passed on. Because when he said a mother figure, my mom passed away in 2013. So I was like, oh, well, maybe she's hanging out. But she didn't wear black dresses and wasn't 70. So maybe
that's what made wearing a black dress with a red rose in it, and you kind of instantly think Victorian, don't you? That it's a sort of mourning suit, that mourning outfit that you'd be expecting, to see at that point. So that's quite interesting. So out of the equipment, then, what's your actual favorite piece then overall?
My actual favorite piece would be a binaural microphone.
Okay.
Which is the piece of the ears. Yeah. I love audio stuff. Like, absolutely love it. I feel like visual stuff is awesome, especially when you get to see things happening. That's cool. But audio, I feel like, gives you so much more information. You can find out so many more things, like, is it man, woman, child, about how old do we think that they are, and based off what they've saying, kind of get a sense of what's going on. I feel like it just gives you a lot more information, and I love audio stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely. I've seen that one working, and it's a cool piece of equipment. It's a bit weird when you first see it, because it's just like two rubber ears, isn't it?
Yeah. We were joking around because the ears get dirty. We're like, we need a Q-tip to clean them out. But it's really cool because it mimics human hearing, but almost makes it like, I always compare it to like supersonic mom hearing, because you can hear everything. but you also can hear if it's coming from the right side or the left side. And like if it's in front of you or behind you, it's amazing.
That's cool.
And it's definitely my favorite piece of equipment because you can listen in real time and hear what's going on around you.
Awesome. We tend to find that, I mean, Charlene said it before to me as well. There's a lot of time we find that we get a lot of EVP or any other voice phenomenon that just by using a video recorder.
Yes.
You know, I mean, not many people can get. It's hard these days to get a decent, you know, get a camcorder that's got night vision on it for one thing.
Yeah,
it's very hard to get nowadays, and I suppose the professional ones are even hard, you know, just as hard to get as well. I know they probably cost a bomb these days, but you know, when I'm filming, I tend to, when I'm live streaming, obviously I'm using my phone, and I'm going to be, hopefully soon we'll be you know, streaming in full spectrum using an infrared light as well, so that'll be quite cool. But I tend to stream on my phone but use a green light.
Yeah.
So everything just goes green. It looks like night vision.
Well, I mean,
but you know, with regards to that, I mean, when we're listening back to things, it's amazing how much how good the microphone is on your phone. Actually, considering.
Yes, it is amazing. It picks up a lot of stuff for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had so many responses, you know, that I've heard back afterwards.
Yeah.
And obviously what you see as well. I mean, we all know that digital cameras, your mobile phone is a glorified digital camera, really. Yeah. We all know digital cameras pick up a lot on and easily on particles in the air and the light reflecting off them. John, Dan, you got some food in your beard, matey. Thanks, mate. We all know when John comes on because he shares it. You see. Yeah. A little bit. John shares the stream for us, and our numbers shoot up briefly.
Supposed to do a shout out to Mike Oxmal.
Oh, don't.
Don't do that one.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
John's got a really bad sense of humor, and he's John is he's a psychic medium and runs he runs one of the largest teams on Facebook. So he's got one of the largest pages in the UK on Facebook, you know, on Facebook. And he averages his investigations. He averages 1,000, 1,200 people usually streaming.
I fell for it. You're right. Trying to be nice, you jerk. Jeez.
It's really, he's done that to me a few times, but he's never fallen for it when I've said it. So I'm going to see him on the weekend, so I'll give him a slap. He's one of these guys. He's got a big heart, and he'll help anybody out he possibly can, and he always shares everybody's you know, when he can and things like that. And he's always jumping on. I'm going on to the Paranormal Warehouse on Thursday. I'm streaming on there for the first time, and John's. Sorry,
I said congratulations.
Oh, thank you. So John's my first guest on there. And then I'm out with him at the weekend, and we're streaming the investigation that we're going to do on the weekend for an hour on the Paranormal Warehouse as well. So we're going to be officially, it works out, including John's page, because John's page is over 200,000, including the Paranormal Warehouse. I think we're about 740,000. We're going to be streaming to on the weekend, which will be pretty cool.
I might need to hop on there and try to get him to do a shout out.
You have to think about some really rude thing for him to say. Knowing him, I've told him he's not allowed to swear, and his partners told him off for swearing because he went out last night all to his premises he's got, and he's got an event centre which is extremely haunted, and it's got loads of items in it. And he was having the other night, he was having dolls and teddies thrown off the side and everything.
Wow.
He hasn't been there in a couple of months, so just because of the lockdown and because he's in a cat, he's not well himself, so he's in that category of got to stay at home. But I think it was last night he was there, or the night before, and Sunday night, and his partners told him off for how many times he's actually he swore on that, in that live stream.
I'm sorry, I cuss. So I'll try to keep it down. Don't you worry.
We all do the same. Okay. Trust me.
I did a radio show for one of my friends who lives in Arizona. We went to high school together, and he's like, Richel, it's live, so you cannot say any cuss words. I was like, why are you having me on? I'm like, I'll try not to. I'm like, what happens if I do? He's like, I have a $2,500 fine I have to pay. I said, for each one, or like just for the charity? And do you have some savings? He's like, just don't say anything. And I went the whole show without saying a cuss word. And right as we were getting off, I started to and changed it like to something else. And he was like cracking up laughing. He's like, and on that note, we're saying bye to you. Bye. I was like, I tried. I didn't say a bad word, but
let's just say his plan on Saturday is to make me scared, so scared at this place he's taken me to that I run out crying. That's his aim.
okay. Something behind you.
Just gone past your window again.
I think that was the dog. I've just heard the dog's bark.
Oh, okay. I was going to say something behind you.
It's all right. We caught a shadow in here last time, and it wasn't the dog or anything then. We don't know what it was, but that was the dog, because I've heard the dogs in the garden.
All right.
Right. I've got somebody in the studio who wants to come on and say hello, actually. And I think he wants to come over and ask you to give that shout out himself. Oh. Hello, John.
Hi.
That was a good one.
Are we all right?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. So, John, Richel, John.
Hi. How are you, Richel?
You took advantage of my sweet nature. How dare you?
Always. Right. All right, Charlene.
Hi, John.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to come and say thanks for the shout out, mate. I hope you're all well. We're back there streaming tonight, by the way, where we had all that activity the other night. So, see if we can get some more dolls being thrown around. We've got a collection of some of the world's most haunted items in one place. So it's a bit like a haunted museum as such, and it's absolutely crazy. So,
yes,
going to be mental.
That's it. Judging by the other night, it's probably. I think if it went onto a mainstream channel, they'd probably put a 30-second delay on it and have a lot of bleeps.
Yeah, with my swearing, I've got a. Joe's going to punch me every time I swear now.
I think
I can't help it. I mean, I try not to, but if I get startled, it usually comes out in threes. Like I say 3 curse words in a row, and then I'll start laughing. But it's so funny. Like, I think it's funny because watching the show, every single time, I feel like I look like first of all, it's very cold a lot of the times where we're at, especially in season 2. So it looks like I have tears in my eyes, but my eyes just water when I get cold. But the one tomorrow night, I was looking, I was like, I got scared shitless in that one. And I said a string of curse words. So it was like, beep, beep, beep. Almost like Morse code. I was like, well, there we go.
Me, it's definitely not Morse code when John gets freaked out in his place.
Oh, it's when I get scared. It's only when I get scared that I do it. And it's which happens quite a lot. And to say I'm a professional paranormal investigator, it's not good, really, is it?
I've actually got an app that I help make by Brian Holloway, and they've actually put a swear jar out for that app. The amount of people that's getting swear words coming out of it, I had to giggle.
That's it.
Okay,
Paranormal haunting swear jar.
So you swear, but because you said you're scared, but do you run away?
Oh yeah.
You run away too?
Yeah.
Oh, I swear because I've been startled, but I try to stick around.
I run because I'm scared.
I think he's trying to get. I think he's trying to get notarized for the, in a similar way over in the States where, everybody knows the phrase "dude, run."
Yeah. Charlene, where me and you went ghost hunting? I'm taking Dan there Saturday.
Oh, you're coming to work, Sock?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
He's going to get very scared, isn't he?
It's a darker place.
Yes.
It's a bit more of an urban exploring place, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's more. It is open. It is.
Yeah.
It's easy to get on to.
Horrid. It's horrible.
It's darker there. I found a board there that then went missing. that then went missing, and I tried to go back for it. And there was all candles round it.
Well, if you remember when
we found it.
I went in and there was a load of devil worshippers all sacrificing animals, and we were live streaming at the time, and they chased us out. We had to get in the car and thrash away in case they caught us.
Something
all
by your window again.
All in hooded gear and stuff, so it's horrendous. So I thought I'd pop on and say hi. I've just got to get all the kit ready for tonight. But nice to speak to you, Richel. And sorry you fell for my prank, but it's not.
I'm dumb. What can I say? I'm gonna get you back though. You bet it.
Come and watch us on Saturday and get us back.
I will.
If you want to laugh, just don't let the kids go into the room while you're doing it. Okay, go on John's at 10 o'clock. Go on John's page at 10 o'clock and have a look at his live stream. And I guarantee you, the laugh will be the fact that when he swears, his partner hits him. And I think his Christmas present this year needs to be one of them dog collars that when they bark, it shocks them. So when he swears, it shocks him. Yeah. So I think that's probably, you know, I need one for when I go near the food jar at the minute.
I think we're probably all having that problem. I just keep eating.
Oh yes, definitely. I do as well.
I was only 10 stone before the lockdown.
Say again?
I was only 10 stone before the lockdown. 10 stone weight.
He's on about his leg, by the way.
I'm on about one of my arms.
His arm. Yeah, his arm.
So yeah, I'll best shoot off, guys, but best of luck for tonight, and thank you for having us on. Yeah.
Good to see you, my friend. Cheers, buddy.
Right. Take care, everyone.
See you later. See you later. Oh, he's a laugh. He takes a beating in this country, unfortunately, because he's obviously he's up there, and his page has just been monetized properly, fully as well with the stars system and things like that. So he does take a bit of a beating, but then he's up there in that spectrum in this country with with the size of page and things. I mean, Charlene's group you've got a really big group, haven't you, as well? You've got your group and your page, but Charlene's group is what, about 180,000, something like that, is it at the minute, or is it?
About 182 in one. I've got 40 in another, and my page is 61. So I've got, I'm nearly clocking on for 500,000.
Yeah. So she's a big hitter as well over here. I'm not. I'm lowly. I've got 22,000.
I don't think I have. I know I don't have remotely to that many. So
you don't need it. You're on A&E.
That's it.
I don't need it.
I keep seeing the shadow.
I know. I do as well.
I know. There's nobody out there now, and my light is going in and out, in and out, in and out, and I don't know why. I'm not moving.
There's no
one out there now.
See, we had Michelle Roos from the Warren Foundation on the other week, and we had so Charlene was sitting at a different angle, and we could see that thin strip of glass. Now Charlene actually opened the door and showed us out there, and it's actually a bit of a drive and down to a gate, and then there's a road. Yeah. But it seemed bizarre because it just seemed we actually physically saw like a shadow walk across that pane.
Yeah.
On Saturday, I come in here and I've got a pendulum on a doll, and the pendulum was dismantled. And there's no cameras up, so I didn't catch it. But I know I didn't even know the pendulum unscrewed, but it was dismantled, and I don't know what or who had done that. I don't know how it's got like that. So I think there is something in here giving off energy.
For sure. I feel like you should set up a camera in there.
Well, this is what I'm planning on doing, and getting CCTV.
Yeah.
In it, because I think it could be interesting.
Definitely from the looks of it. But see, Charlene's got the doll that she's referring to is the doll itself is the one that led to one that's really well known in this country. It's obviously it's not like the Annabelle doll or anything, but it's
no.
It's for this country, the UK. It's known to be the most haunted in this country. And the doll that Charlene's got is pretty much linked to it, isn't it?
The
Lizzie.
The doll, yeah.
So it's very strange what Charlene gets with Lizzie and what other people have got when they've worked with Lizzie as well. So what's your thoughts on haunted objects then? So I think it's quite a big thing in the paranormal at the moment, haunted objects.
I mean, I believe in it. I believe that there's attachments to things. I know that, I know my sister collects antiques and things like that. Not necessarily like haunted objects, but she's definitely likes, going to the flea market and things like that. And she brought in this chair to her house, and she didn't have activity before that. And then once she brought it in, activity was like crazy.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting rid of the chair and it went away. So I believe that there's attachment to certain objects. I don't necessarily know what causes the attachment, but then again, I think of, if they're people, which I believe that they are, they probably get attached to certain things and don't want to leave it. Because I'm attached to, I'll flat out tell you guys, I have a blanket that I take everywhere with me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't sleep without it. Like I have it. It's just, I feel I need it. So I think when I pass on, like,
you're going to be using your love and energy is still going to be on that. You've had it
for so long, right?
So long. Yeah.
So I kind of believe in that's probably why there's attachment to things, because there's some type of personal connection to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, leading on from that, then things like God, what John's writing in the chat now as well.
I know. I'm not going to read any more of John's comments.
I can't say anything.
He's from now on going to be known as John Doe. There we go. So we're talking about haunted objects and things. I mean, obviously, there's a big influx of things like dolls and Dybbuk boxes and things you see online, especially. Have you ever worked with much in the way of haunted objects and things like dolls and stuff like that? Have you done much with that?
No, I haven't really. I mean, I haven't really came across anything where I've had to work with it. The closest experience that I've had is that chair that I was talking about with my sister. And she did end up saging it, and then eventually she ended up just getting rid of it. And I thought about being really mean and like sneaking back into her house and putting it back in there. She put it out by the trash. But then I was like, I probably shouldn't do this because she's actually having some issues going on with it. But wouldn't that have been hilarious? Like she threw it away.
And it been back in, yeah.
And then like I waited like a day or two and she thought the trash took it, and then I put it back in her house.
She'd never believe you again in your life, would you?
I think she might be a little mad about that, but yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, with regards to haunted objects and things, I mean, I don't own any myself.
Yes.
I've worked with a few. I've worked with different ones. Tell a lie. I don't own any. Sorry, but I do have 16 dolls sitting in a bag downstairs, which I was asked to work with a little bit and see if there was anything potentially came through when I tried to, do bits and pieces. But
yeah,
I don't actually physically own anything, that I could say is, that I know of has any active energies around it, and I don't know if I would want to as such. As I say, I've had things that I've been given to work with, but other than that, that's it. The closest I get to something that's got an attachment on it is a bottle with my face on that. So,
So Charlene, do you get nervous? Because I know that you had said that you are sensitive. Does it make you nervous to have items that you feel like may have an attachment to them in your house?
No, because I kind of look at myself as its caregiver.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, so I care for that item, and there's a mutual respect there between myself and whatever is attached.
Mm-hmm.
I think on Saturday you kind of seen that, didn't you, Dan?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Where I was speaking, and that's how I feel. I don't think I've got anything demonic in here.
Yeah.
I might have something a bit negative in here, but nothing that I would say is demonic. But I feel I can control it.
Okay. I get what you're saying with that. It makes sense. I think as long as you're respectful, it's fine. You get a mutual respect. And I agree with I think that people think because of Hollywood and everything that a lot of people think that something's automatically demonic. And it's not the case. Like, I feel like that's once in a blue moon that you'll run across it, really. A lot of the time it's more I don't believe that your personality changes once you pass on. So if you're an asshole in life, you'll most likely be an asshole in death. It doesn't mean you're the devil or a demon. It just means you're a jerk.
That's it.
And you know there are people that get demons come out and stuff. I mean, if you was a bit like of a trickster in life, wouldn't you be like, yeah, I'm a demon? Wouldn't you mess about with people?
Oh, I know if I could mess with a ghost, I'm messing with a bunch of people. I'm going to say so many things. It's not even fun, because that's fun. Like, I don't think a demon's actually going to tell you that they're a demon.
No, or give it a direct name and stuff. That's what they don't tend to do. But yeah, I think if there was a bit of a prankster in life, there might be a bit of a prankster in death as well. But it's a personality trait, and that is what makes you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I personally think that, obviously, like, for example, people talk too much about they instantly jump on the demon side of things. They instantly jump on poltergeist. I personally think that, Charlene probably gets fed up with me hearing me say this, but I sort of think that, to me, I believe that we are the catalyst to the activity as such. So a spirit is a spirit. It's there. If it's there, it's fueled by energy in some way, and the energies we give off. If that's quite negative, and it's fueled, and it's continuously around those negative energies, it's going to take traits from that, and instantly people tend to move. I actually took this little theory from Grant, actually, believe it or not. I heard him say it once about how the fact that he believed that we are the poltergeist rather than the spirit. Because we're the ones that are actually causing the activity by our any negativeness, things like that.
Yeah.
But a poltergeist actually only means a noisy spirit.
Exactly.
That's all it means.
That's it.
It's a spirit that is being physical, moving things, banging, things like that. It's just something that's noisy, but it has really got that like negative tag to it, isn't it? The name.
That's it. Hollywood seemed to have ruined that along with haunted objects like dolls and things, I think, as well.
I know, but people like to get scared.
That's it.
Right?
They do.
Whether you want to believe it or not, like, you like to be scared. Like, the adrenaline gets going, and it's addictive.
That's it.
That's why
from John. I won't bring many more up from John tonight about what he said.
Is legend.
John just wishes he could be Grant. Moving on very quickly, I got a question from Linda Graham on here. Have you ever been to Skinwalker Ranch?
No, Linda, I have not been to Skinwalker Ranch, but I want to go.
Whereabouts is Skinwalker?
That's got to be on your list.
I've heard of it, but whereabouts is it?
Is that pond?
What pond?
Is it a pond?
I don't know, to be honest.
Skinwalker Ranch I'm sure. Is it like a pond thing? It's supposed to be like a portal or something. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong in the comments, but it rings a bell, and I remember it being a really interesting story.
I feel like it's kind of out in the desert a little bit, but I'm not positive. I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about it, and I know that we were close to it because some of the guys were talking about Skinwalker Ranch, but I've never been. And what I know about it, I want to go, but I need to research it more, to be honest.
Yeah.
It is one for you, as well as ghosts.
I think it's like out in the desert. I think.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm
not positive, but I think it is. And
I'm Googling.
The
Here's
desert.
one for you.
It's in
You know,
Arizona.
as well as ghosts and things, UFOs, that kind of thing interest you as well?
Yeah, they do. I am definitely like UFOs, Bigfoot, you know, the dog man, things like that. Yeah. I like all of that stuff. If it's kind of out there, I want to know more about it. I don't necessarily, I don't not believe it, but I haven't ever had any experience with a UFO or anything that I feel like is alien. But I definitely would be interested in looking at pictures, and, you know, if I get to experience that, I'll probably be more of a believer. It's not that I'm not a believer. It's just, it's the
You've
unknown.
never experienced something.
Yeah.
That's it. Skinwalker Ranch, also known as Sherman Ranch, is a property located in approximately 512 acres southeast of Ballard, Utah State, that is reputed to be the site of paranormal and UFO related activities. Its name is taken from Skinwalker of Navajo legend concerning vengeful shaman.
Okay. All right. So it's in Utah. Linda's saying it is a huge desert-like place. So
she just copy and pasted what I was just reading on Wikipedia. So
nice,
which is good. So and Noreen Hill says History Channel are running a series about Skinwalker Ranch at the moment. I'm really bad. I don't tend to watch much. Believe it or not, I don't tend to watch many paranormal shows anymore.
Yeah.
And the last one I think I was watching, believe it or not, it wasn't the original Ghost Hunter series, it was the international one. That's probably the last one I watched. But I don't tend to watch many of the others. But I like the Ghost Hunters ethos. That's the thing, you see.
Yeah, I will say that I don't believe that. Like, I mean, I don't watch a lot of ghost shows either, because I enjoy doing it more than watching it. But I mean, before I would watch them, before I actually got the opportunity to join the group and actually investigate, I would watch them occasionally. And I like to see different teams' ways of going about investigating.
Yeah.
And
John
actually
asked a serious question for you, Richel.
Oh, John, what do you want?
He's asked a serious question this time. What is Richel's thoughts on Ouija boards?
Well, they say 8 and up, right? So go ahead, summon a demon. Who cares?
John's got 26 of them.
So I am interested in Ouija boards, but I feel like you have to be very careful with them, because if you are not familiar with them, you can get yourself in a position that you don't necessarily want to be in. So I think they're cool, but you do have to make sure that you're aware of what you're opening up. Yeah.
Do you think there's more of a psychological sense with a Ouija board rather than what actually could be happening? Do you think if the person on the Ouija board is doing the Ouija board and they fully believe it's a portal to hell, then they're more likely to experience like more coming through and maybe carry on with that as an activity?
I think you have to watch, because like it can be psychological, but also like a lot of the time you do a Ouija board with someone else, you have to really trust the person that they're not pushing it or anything like that. Yeah. It's just a tricky situation. Now, if there was a Ouija board sitting there and no one was touching the little cursor thing and it started moving, that's
different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we used to do things like I've only ever done a Ouija board once. I did it last year, and I didn't do it before that out of respect for a previous partner that I was with. I did one briefly last year. Nothing happened whatsoever. I haven't done one since. They don't really interest me that much. But I mean, Charlene and I have talked a lot about Ouija boards on here with different people, and one of the things we sort of look at and say sometimes is, to us, to me especially, a Ouija board, in some ways, is not much different to things like this. You know,
all a tool, isn't it?
Any form of item where you're asking spirit to communicate with, touch or stand in front of or anything like that.
Yeah, they're all just tools, and like with anything that you use, like, because I have a pendulum that I use sometimes. Anytime that you are reaching out, you have to be aware of what you're doing and make sure, like, that you're not crossing lines. I know that you just have to make sure that you fully understand what you're doing so that you don't get yourself in a tricky situation. I know that when I go into an investigation, I'm respectful. I typically don't tell whoever's there that they can use my energy, but that's my personal opinion of how I feel, because I feel like I'm sensitive to begin with. I don't need someone using my energy. You can use the energy from the equipment that I have. That is fine. But me as a person, you leave me be. I have a protection ring that I wear all the time to ward off any negative energy. And before I leave an investigation, I always say, whether it's in my head or in out loud firmly, like, you're not allowed to come home with me. You're not allowed to follow me. You have to stay here. Now, I believe that works. I feel like it makes me feel like it's safer.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's just, just in my head or not, I have a certain system that I do that I feel like to keep myself protected, because I know that when you are messing with the other side, you can get into some things that maybe not. It's like, again, it'll be once in a blue moon, but you could possibly get into something that you aren't necessarily fully prepared for. So I think that you just need to be cautious with any type of instrument that you're going to use, whether it be a Ouija board, a pendulum, even a data logger. Like, you're going to a haunted location trying to reach the other side.
You're still calling out, aren't you, regardless of what you're using?
Yes, you're still reaching out to someone, and essentially you're taking their word that they are who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, I mean, really, what to me, if you don't know your equipment, especially, you don't know how to use it and use it properly and how it works, and what can be the causes of it going off or anything like that.
Yes.
I mean, John and we've just started using these. I'll see if I don't know if you can see it. It's on the back of my phone. See if I can get this off. I've just broken my case. But you probably see on the back.
Okay.
So this thing, it's basically it's designed to significantly reduce the electromagnetic field that your phone gives off.
Okay. Do you feel like it's working?
Well, just to give you an idea, if you're doing a live stream like this now, like we are now, if I was going anywhere near a K2, for example, if I was within about 5, 6, 8 feet of a K2, K2 would be bleeping somewhat. Closer I get, the more it goes off because it's so sensitive.
Okay.
If I have one of my other EMF meters with me, that would tend to go off when I got to about 3, 4 foot away.
Okay.
I put this on my phone, started watching a video on Facebook, and then I went right up to my K2 meter and got 3 inches away before it went off.
Okay.
So it's, for being a live streamer, it's a bit of an awkward one, because I've been on to live streams before, and I've there's a guy over, he's a psychic medium, his name's Nick Sage, and I was on his live stream one time, and his EMF meter's going off, his K2's going off, and he's going, oh, look at that spirit. I just messaged him, go, Nick, it's your live stream causing it.
Yeah.
And then next thing, he's allowed, I have a laugh with him about it, because I just take the mick out of him sometimes with it. And he says to me, oh, I'm there watching him, and he's going, look at all these spirit orbs and that. I'm like, Nick, you're in the basement of a building, it's all muddy floored, and you're walking around, and you can, and it's dust in the air, it's particles in the air. And he's going, yeah, I know, Dan, don't worry. And he's on, typing back to me. And then I put that, and then he's like, look at them spirit orbs, though. Look at all them spirit. Again, he's a nice bloke. He's an amazing bloke. He's a good bloke. But that's, but then the funniest thing about that was, next thing you know, I got a top fan badge from him on Facebook. So, it's, that's it. John's just said those things, they're originally designed for over 4 inches away. So, these things, I mean, we're testing them out to see what they're like, really, just to see how well they work, and see if they do anything more to help, so that when we're live streaming things, it's not necessarily the live stream that's causing things like the EMF meters to go off and that. moving on slightly with regards to, you said we're talking about Ouija boards and knowing your equipment, etc. What's your thoughts on this? Is a controversial one, I think. Provocation.
On what?
Provocation. Provoking spirit.
Provoking.
Oh, provoking. I'm not about that.
No.
I don't think it's a good idea. I wouldn't come in to your house and start provoking you to get you to do something. Like it's very disrespectful. I know that that's just my personal opinion. Everybody has their own way of investigating. I will not provoke a spirit. I don't feel like it's respectful or nice to do.
Yeah.
Also, you don't know what they're capable of.
That's it. Yeah.
You can't provoke a spirit and then get slapped upside the head and be like, they're evil. Well, you came in their house and you started causing trouble. I had that too, you know? So I don't believe in provoking. I won't do it. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So we got the other night we were when we were doing the session with this the doll, this Lizzie doll. I mean, we had, believe it or not, we had the word whore come through on some equipment.
Yeah.
Was it the spirit box that came through, or was it your app? Spirit box, wasn't it? Yeah. So we were asking a question about what she was like, you know, and it came through. And so the question, you know, I thought the only way to get it and why she doesn't like men a lot is because especially if you're with Lizzie, it was especially if you're a man who provokes and is pushy and things like that, and you know, that's when like Charlene was saying, that's more when she's about to do something or does something. So I just thought I don't like to provoke, but I thought, well, it's come up. This is a word we've heard. Yeah. So I asked the question. Obviously, I put it in a couple of different terms. Were you a lady in the night? Things like that. And then I asked straight out, were you a whore? And I think we did get a little bit of a spike of bits and pieces at that point, didn't we? And I had a pendulum sitting here, and the pendulum was just spinning. Yeah. And I got a fan up here, a little fan, just because it gets stupidly hot in this room sometimes. So, and the fan was blowing, but the pendulum was here. So yes, it was in its line of, but you would have expected the pendulum to be swaying forward and backwards at that point, where it wasn't. It was actually spinning in some ways, but it was slowing right down, and then it was speeding up again, and things like that. So it's kind of the way we were just thinking about, where, you know, may not necessarily have been that.
Yeah. If you hadn't provoked. But the thing is with the items is that because I see myself as their caregiver, there's an element of respect there with me and the item. So for me to say, you know, I'm talking to the doll if it's a person. So, yeah. You know, so I'm saying this person's going to provoke you. This is what he's going to do tonight. You know, prior to the investigation. Mm-hmm. He wants you to go and do something. So, you know, yeah, that's how I get around it with the items. I don't really like it myself, though. I won't go in effing and blinding it somewhere, and I don't like to. But with my items, I know kind of what I need to do and have a good chat before. Sounds crazy.
Yeah, you can be stern with them, with the spirit. Yeah. No, I've done that before. Where I mean, I've said, okay, so apparently you aren't in the mood to talk tonight. I'm going to leave and I'll be back later, and I hope you change your mind and you can let me know. But the way I feel about that is I would say that to someone living in front of me. Yeah. I don't feel like it was provoking. It was just like, okay, you aren't chatty tonight, and this is how this is what's going to happen.
I think that's one of the biggest problems with the paranormal, though, is, I mean, people watch a lot of programs and things, and you know what it's like. I mean, what's the average length of your investigation to make that episode?
Oh my goodness, we are at a location for at least a week.
Wow.
And every run that we probably do like at least 20 runs, I would say. And every run that we do is an hour long, if not longer.
When you say run, you mean
every time we go out, into the building to investigate, we're in there for at least an hour.
So we would say we're doing a vigil. So that's what you mean, is it? So we'll go into a certain room and we'll do a vigil in there. Is that same sort of principle?
Yeah. So we'll go in there for an hour and then we'll move. So, you get to, on TV, you get to see like 4 or 5 minutes of each run that we've done. When really we've been in there for at least an hour. The amount of things that we've done in there, the debunking, getting a baseline reading of the whole entire room.
We've only seen like a little snippet of it, really, aren't we? Of what a massive thing that's happened.
Yeah, it's crazy because like we show you where the activity is happening, and then a lot of the times it seems like we immediately leave, and I'm like, we don't ever leave if a room is starting to become active. When it becomes active, you stay.
Yeah.
If it's not active, then we leave. But I know that the way sometimes it's portrayed on the show is we get activity and then we're like, okay, well, we're going to go. And that's usually not the case. I will say that it has been one time that we've asked, do you not want us here? And we got a response. So we left. It was because we were being respectful. If someone says, I don't want you in this area, obviously you're going to leave. So we were respecting that, which was extremely hard for us to do because it's like we're getting activity, but they want to go.
Yeah.
So what do you do? At that point, you have to weigh, like, maybe if we value them and their wishes and say, we will come back later, we'll come back tomorrow and see you, that maybe they'll cooperate a little bit more because we built the trust with the spirit or the entity.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's really hard is you're trying to, anytime you investigate anywhere, the people that are having all this activity typically live there or are there all the time. And you're coming in as a new person and spending a short little snippet of time in there. And you have to quickly build trust with whoever's there, the spirit or the entity, so that you can get some type of activity or interaction with them.
So it's amazing. I mean, I've been out done an investigation before. I've been out for 6-7 hours. And then it's hard enough trying to take that and condense it down into less than an hour. I can imagine what it's like taking a week's worth of documentation, of video evidence and condensing that down.
Luckily, that's not my job. I have amazing editors that can do that because I don't know how they do it.
When you do your evidence review, though, do you guys all get around the table and do it together still, or do you?
So a lot of the time, I mean, like I'll do evidence review with Kristen sitting in my room. We're both reviewing evidence, but she's like sitting next to me. Or I'll do it with, Brian sitting there. But we do it in our rooms, and then we come together at the end and kind of show each other like what we've gotten. And I think quite honestly, I think us all trying to review it together, we would get way too distracted.
Yeah. You sort of tend to start having a laugh and joke and things like that. Yeah.
So I think you kind of have to like take a step back and like, I know I need quiet.
Yeah.
And if we get a bunch of people in there, we're all trying to listen. It's like, I'm going to be distracted by too many things.
You always get the John Sixth sense of this world, then, don't you? Coming out trying to play pranks and things, So, Richel, our time has flown by.
Wow.
It's now nearly 25 to 10 at night here.
Gosh.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not a problem whatsoever. I've done a few where we've gone right on. I do mini readings. I'm not psychic. I have a friend of mine who comes on and does mini readings. I'm about as psychic as a lemon, I say. So, and we've ended up going over like 2.5 hours before without realizing. So, I think we did 3 hours the other week as well, and we didn't even realize we were on it. Yeah. No. So, Richel, it's been amazing. I'm hoping that you would come back on again soon.
I had a blast. I like talking to you guys. I had so much fun.
Do you know what would be great is if we could get like yourself, Mustafa, and maybe Brandon on at the same time, and especially once once we've got season 1 over with here, so we can like talk season 1 with you. That would be amazing, and hopefully lockdown will be out of the way at that point, and from there as well, what we can, if you guys ever do come over, over to the UK, even if it's just personally yourself, you come over and you want to go out for a night, maybe on an investigation, just let us know, and we'll happily find somewhere, one of these urban places. We get John to take you to this one that he's trying to scare me at on Saturday.
If I ever get to go over there, which I hope I do, I will definitely be reaching out.
That'd
so we
be awesome.
can get together. And yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I really had a good time. It was wonderful talking to you guys.
Oh, Richel, you've been a star, and thank you very much. I know it's a Tuesday, it's a weekday for you. What time is it there at the minute?
It is 3:35 here.
Okay, so probably what, school leaving time if the kids was a bit older?
If the kids were in school right now, our schools are out for the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah, ours are pretty much now, aren't they? I think. And
wow, yeah, my little one.
They've been out for like over a month because of the pandemic.
They're talking about here. I think they're talking about the fact
June, year 6,
what we call year 6. Yeah. So what's that? That's what about 8, 9-year-olds? Isn't it year 6? 11. Sorry.
11.
You can tell I haven't got kids, can't you? I ain't got a clue. The younger kids, they're looking at potentially starting to phase them back in.
Okay.
The older kids, high school kids, and that they're not going to be going back, I don't think, from what they're saying this year. So, yes, it's all a bit crazy over here at the moment.
I think soon yet, but that's personal opinion.
That's it. So, Richel, it's been amazing. Thank you very much for coming on, and you've been an absolute star. And keep the color in the air. It looks nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I was thinking about changing it, but thank you. I'll keep this color.
I think that color suits you. I know it's faded a bit, but you say it like you're saying. But I think that blue is the teal color. You're saying it suits you well.
Well, thank you.
Thank you again, and hopefully we'll have you back on soon, as I say, once season 1 airs in some way, or even if it's once towards the end. That'll be amazing. And then we can talk shop with regards to the series.
All right. You know how to get hold of me. So
well, yeah, certainly do. You're a star. Thank you very much, Richel.
Thank you. Bye.
See you again soon. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
What can I say?
Oh, lovely lady.
Oh, definitely. I think the thing is that when you do see any of the shows, from what I've seen so far, Richel is basically the same person you see on TV. So,
they all are, to be honest. From what I've watched, they're all, it's been an honour to be able to come on and talk to them. And it's made lockdown not so bad talking to them.
That's it. It's the few of the highlights of lockdown at the moment are, we've had a lot of people on talking to them, and we've had a lot of people on, where we can try and, discuss things in different ways about different things and things like that. And, and people like Richel giving up her time. I mean, obviously before we brought her on, she had her little kid come in the room and things, so she's taken time out of her day to come and talk to us, which is amazing. So, well, Charlene, thank you very much. And everybody in the chat as well. Thank you very much for coming on and watching. I'm sorry we didn't sort of, I wasn't able to take that much notice of the chat, unfortunately. I did see some things, but thank you for everybody who came on and commented, with exception of John's silly comment. Normally he tries to get me with them, Charlene. But tomorrow night Drew's back with some more mini readings. So if you want one of them, please pop over to the event page, and you'll be able to see that and book your slot in to be able to guarantee yourself a mini reading. Thursday night live on Paranormal Warehouse with John 6 Cents, where he's been back. He's been told he's not allowed to swear at all. Friday night day off, and then Saturday night live investigation, also being streamed on the Paranormal Warehouse. So be cool. So Charlene, you've been amazing as usual.
Thank you.
The other thing is, one entity who was supposed to be on with me last night in Paraslam, they're back on. They're going to be coming on Monday instead next week. So that'd be good to have them on. And we shall see you all guys. I'll get my words out. See you guys all soon. Cheers. Good night.
Right. Bye, everyone. Bye.